Fun fact, in Colorado, insurance companies can no longer discriminate against specific breeds of animals. So what this means is that your homeowner's insurance can no longer decline you insurance and or upcharge you based on a specific breed. And this is probably most relevant with pit bulls, German shepherds, Akitas, huskies, kind of the typical ones that insurance either will decline you home insurance on and or charge you more based on that breed. So insurance still has the right to decline and or charge you more for a specific animal. And where this would come up is if you had a past claim involving that animal, the insurance could then decline specifically for that animal. So if my dog went and bit someone, the insurance could decline to insure her in the future, but they couldn't wholesale say no more Wheaten Terriers on this insurance policy. That said, individual landlords can still decline any type of animal they want, any breed that they want, and any individual animal they want. Second topic, pet insurance and pet deposits. So pet deposits are now capped at $300 per animal, and pet rentals, so if you're going to charge pet rent, that is now capped at either 1.5% of your total rent or $35. Whichever one is more is what you can charge as the landlord. And then final topic, and this covers pets and evictions. So if a tenant gets evicted and they're away from the place and they have abandoned an animal, the landlord can't then also abandon that animal. The landlord has an obligation to return the animal to the Humane Society or some kind of shelter and or get it back to the tenant. In addition to that, the landlord cannot use the pet as leverage against the tenant, meaning that if the tenant owes the landlord rent, the landlord cannot hold your animal hostage until you pay the landlord back. So that's what's going on with pet rentals and landlord law. Before I get into the 3 additional pieces of legislation that are exciting for Colorado, if you feel like you are learning something, please like this video. 3 other exciting developments that are happening in Colorado that affect the community. 1, this isn't really a real estate thing, it's just kind of cool. Colorado has now banned all single-use plastic bags. So in 2023, to warm us up for this, they charged us 10 cents per plastic bag in the grocery stores. In 2024, there are no more plastic bags. So that's 1. Number 2 is the FAMLI Leave Act. This is worth Googling. It's FAMLI Colorado, and it will come up, and there's an FAQs page on the website that's really useful. But why you care about the FAMLI Leave Act is that it is partial pay for up to 12 weeks, and it covers a lot of different circumstances. So it covers you if you get sick, if your spouse gets sick, if you adopt, foster, and or have a child, if you are the victim of sexual abuse or domestic violence, and or if you're part of a military family that's trying to adjust because someone's going to go on leave. Employers cannot opt out of this. Everyone is part of it, and you are eligible for it if you have made $2,500 or more in Colorado in the last year. I think this is amazing. All right, and the third thing that you care about here is Colorado's policies around mushrooms. It's a little bit different than marijuana because even though we are on the forefront of it, many more states are adopting mushroom legislation in a much faster clip than marijuana was adopted. So unlike marijuana, it is statewide legislation, meaning that certain cities cannot opt out of it. So for instance, in Colorado Springs, we have access to medical marijuana, but we don't have access to recreational marijuana. With the mushroom bill, no city can opt out. Everybody will have access to it. So that's 1. Second thing is there's no medical component. There's going to be healing centers, and the people that are administering the drugs don't have to be medical professionals, and the people taking the drugs don't have to have a doctor's note either. The reason why Colorado is passing this is because there's a lot of evidence to suggest that psilocybin and other mushroom types help with PTSD, depression, a lot of different things. The reason why I think it's interesting on a real estate perspective is that we certainly saw the prices shoot up when marijuana became legalized. So I want to track this from an investing standpoint. We don't need to do anything that's going to make the prices go up, given how expensive Colorado already is. And this has potential for that. But again, it may be different because we're seeing a lot of other states adopt mushroom policy. And so we may not be an outlier, and therefore our prices may not go up in the way that they did with marijuana.